First of all, I think we have to realize that something that is smart will also have to earn our trust. And therefore, the roadmap has to start from how do we build trust? And that means we need people who are, um, you know, who hold a strong reputation within our field or within our organization or within our plant, um, to have to take the first steps in moving the organization towards a smart guidance solution. So that's the first element of a roadmap. The second element is there a way for us to know how smart is this system before we start making decisions based on it, real time decisions? Now, to do that, many organizations tend to use a guidance system in retrospect, meaning what was going on at time t when an incident occurred. And what does this smart system know about what was happening at time t? Is it able to indicate that there was a behavior or a condition that needed action? Number one. And two, is it able to help us understand what may the causes have been for it thinking that there is an active condition that requires intervention? Now, if we can do these things, then at the time an incident occurs, somebody is going to ask a question: why did this happen? What do we do? And we don't have a lot of time to answer or find the answer. And a smart guidance system should at least be able to tell us what were the proximate causes. Because if it is able to do that work, then we can improve our recovery process. Now, in order for us to be able to get to the root cause, naturally, we are going to have to provide it data. So the typical approach that manufacturing organizations take is that they will connect either IIoT sensor data or they will connect SCADA data to a falconry type of smart system. And they would do that through some industrial middleware technology, something that they can keep in the plant that is secure and is able to move data for an entire line or potentially for a plant if it is a secondary sensing like IIoT sensor, and um, use a line worth of information or a subsystem worth of information, a few thousand parameters or a few hundred parameters, depending on everybody's comfort level. Not knowing necessarily which conditions can be predicted from those parameters and when that condition is going to occur. So we don't know that. What we do know is that we want to have a team that is focused on a certain line and has reputation within the organization, therefore is going to do this introduction of a smart system into that manufacturing organization. So those are the three elements. Now, once the root cause once the system is beginning to be used for root cause, at that point, I think people develop a sense of what is the level of intelligence of this guidance system. And therefore, whether we'll get down to, instead of the 82% failures are random, we'll get down to maybe 35% failures are random. And for the other 50%, we can use a guidance system. And then for another 20%, we can use conventional systems. Once we get to that level of confidence or belief, at that point, we want to turn this system into an alerting system. And generally, in order for something to become an alerting system, it has to have relatively low incidence rate that people will actually act upon it. And so transitioning or sort of switching from a root cause or an analysis system to an alerting system is going to go through that kind of a review and robustification process to make sure that it does not make the lives of people working in the plant worse, and that they are able to understand what alerts are telling them. And generally, to me, alerting also goes with integrating into work systems, because people are used to working and keeping track of their work and compliance through those work systems. And so at the time people are ready for an alerting system, they also expect that the alerting system will integrate with their work systems, um, and do so in such a way that the information is adequate for them to take the next action. So that's sort of the roadmap. I'll just summarize. First is the leaders that are trustworthy. Second is an analysis system for a certain line where the trustworthy people have expertise. And then the third is an alerting system that is integrated into the work management stream that can be used to communicate conditions and the likely actions to take based on those conditions.